Hi everybody, Joe Lyons from Lyons Links here again, and as suggested, I'm here to speak a little bit about Irish amateur golf and how we produce so many great major champions down through the years. Firstly, I suppose if I speak about Pádraig Harrington, Pádraig was of the same vintage as Pádraig. I would have played junior golf against him. He was far better than me, and while he was a very good junior golfer, played for Ireland age 16, 17 and 18, he was also a very good amateur golfer. The folklore, you often hear people suggest that Pádraig's amateur career he wasn't seen as a standout. Well, for anybody that knows much about amateur golf, Pádraig has played three times at World Cup level, which speaks volumes for how successful he was as an amateur. Well, he wasn't a prolific winner, and every tournament that Pádraig turned up at, he was in the mix, whether it be the top 10 at the stroke play events or semi final or final at the match play events. And I think in his last year, Pádraig might have won the West of Ireland and the Irish Close Championship before turning pro. Subsequent to turning pro, of course, Pádraig won the Spanish Amateur Open Championship within 10 weeks. But I think it was his 10th tournament on the PGA Tour, on the European Tour. And as we all know, he subsequently went on to become a three-time major winner. I suppose when Pádraig was competing in the amateur championships in Ireland, a lot of very good amateurs around at the time, the likes of Paul McGinley, Darren Clark, Ken Carney, Gareth McGimsey, Niall Goulding, and several more. But these guys were all standout amateurs. Some went on to have great professional careers, others were standout amateur careers. But Pádraig cut his teeth against these guys at the courses such as Ross's Point, County Sligo, Portrush and the Hinch, and others of course. Moving on from that, GMAC, while he played most of his college golf in the States, his amateur golf over there, he did win 4 provincial championships here at youth level in the 1 year. So he won the Ulster, Leinster, Munster, and I think the Irish Youth Championship all in the 1 year. I distinctly remember this as a clubmate of my own, Justin Keogh, who was a phenomenal golfer in his own right, was second to Graham in all these events. So, all these guys really did, they were standout amateurs here. Rory, of course, came first time I saw Rory, he was 13 years of age. There was a lot of talk about this young kid up the north, about how good he was going to be. A buddy of mine, Stephen Maloney, played him in the last 16 or the last 8 of the West, when Rory was only 13 years of age. And I remember Stephen saying to me, he said, the sooner this guy runs through the ranks here and turns pro, the better, because he's going to win everything for the next few years. And that was very prophetic. Rory won West of Ireland Championship at 15 and again at 16. He won the Irish Amateur Championship at 15 and again at 16. He won the Mullingar Scratch Cup. He won 2 European team championships with Ireland, and of course he won the medal in his last amateur event at the Open Championship in Carnoustie, where he finished in the top 10 of the Open as a 17-year-old amateur, as far as I can remember. So needless to say, and of course every amateur event Rory turned up at, he was the man to beat. So as soon as Rory turned pro, well then Shane Lowry pretty much dominated the amateur scene here. Shane won the North of Ireland at Portrush, East of Ireland at County Louth, the West of Ireland at County Sligo. He also won an Irish Close and Cork Golf Club. And of course he won the Irish Open again at Baltray as well, which was a happy hunting ground from having won the East of Ireland there. So these guys all learned to cut their teeth at these Irish championships. Every now and then, some mere mortals like ourselves, so people working, whether to be social workers or police officers or builders or working in golf clubs or greenkeepers or whatever, or every now and then one of us would have our day in the sun. But these guys, pretty much every time they teed it up, they had their day in the sun. And going by what Des Smith, a famous Irish Ryder Cupper, had to say, there's no point in the guy turning pro unless he's absolutely dominant as at amateur level, and all of these guys were, and it's easy to see why they were so dominant. So thanks for listening. In the next video, I'll go on and I'll talk a little bit about my experiences and some of the matches I encountered, and some of the games that I had in around the time these guys were playing as well. So that's it for today. Thank you. Bye.